CBS Sports, your home of March Madness, the Masters, the PGA, PGA Tour, SEC football, the NFL, and February 3rd, Super Bowl 53.
Week 15 in the NFL.
All right, JB, there's Kirk Cousins. Is there a player under more pressure or scrutiny today? I think not. Minnesota has lost 3 of their last 4, and they host the Miami Dolphins.
And there's Ryan Tannehill. There's no Miami miracle without this man. In the last 3 starts, 8 touchdowns, just 1 interception.
Marcus Mariota and the Tennessee Titans, they've won 2 in a row, looking for 3. Wind and rain at MetLife. That may add to that rushing total for Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, there he is. Eli Manning, the Giants, winners of 4 of their last 5 games. Eli Manning completing a career-high 67% of his passes.
Stand by to move right. Ready, 1, take 1. Stand by to bring it back. Take 4.
We'll record on 43.
3, 2, 1.
And hello, everyone. I'm James Brown. Welcome to the NFL Today, powered by Ram Trucks. On our air today, we have several games with playoff implications coming your way, but we begin with the Week 15 headlines here on CBS. Last week's miracle in Miami helped keep the Dolphins in the thick of the AFC wildcard race, and today they'll try to keep their momentum going as they take on the Vikings in Minnesota. And speaking of the Vikes, a continued offensive slump led to big changes this week on their coaching staff, and now Kirk Cousins, as Boomer mentioned, and company will try to right the ship and maintain a postseason bid. And in Pittsburgh, 2 storied franchises face off once again as the Patriots and the Steelers tried to rebound from disappointing losses last week that put both in some unfamiliar territory.
The Dolphins are going to win it on the lateral, and Drake takes it in, and the Patriots stand stunned in disbelief.
It shouldn't have come down to that. Football's a crazy game. Never really been a part of anything like that. Got to make that tackle. And I did sucky.
Came down to 1 play, but they just made 1 more play than we did.
Good pick by Boswell. He slipped and fell and the ball is loose. Oh, my goodness gracious.
Stunning.
It is stunning.
We all need to look in the mirror and figure out what's going on, and things happen. You know, I'm not going to make field conditions an excuse. It was slippery for everyone. It was disappointing here today. It's our job to fix it.
So the Patriots fall to the 3rd seed thanks to the Texans' win yesterday, with the Steelers seated 4th in the current AFC playoff picture. Houston solidified its place in the postseason, but New England can move back to the 2 seed with a win over Pittsburgh and clinch the East crown with a Miami loss. The Chargers clinched the playoff berth with their win over the Chiefs on Thursday night, while a group of teams at 7-6 are in the playoff hunt. And surprise, surprise, with their win last night, the Browns are gaining ground in the hunt. All right, folks, I'm joined here at the desk by my colleagues, experts, all including Phil Simms, Coach Bill Cowher, Nate Burleson, and Boomer. Always a great matchup when the Patriots and the Steelers get together.
JB, we are jacked up for this game at 4:25 right here on CBS. And the reason why, take a look at the superlatives from both of these organizations. Consistency since 2001, 218 wins for the Patriots. Look at the success in the playoffs. And we always expect them to give us a great game. The Super Bowl wins, the Super Bowl appearances. It really is an amazing game and amazing players. And I really can't wait for it because, you know, Week 14 was nuts. Yeah. And Week 15 has started out nuts with the Chargers and the Chiefs, and of course the Texans yesterday and the Browns last night. So good luck to the Browns moving forward. But I think today's afternoon right here on CBS is going to be great.
Yeah, New England had nobody on their injury list, and for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and particularly that offense, no James Conner today. He will not play for the 2nd consecutive week. Jalen Samuels and Stephen Ridley will take over that responsibility. And for the Pittsburgh Steelers in this 3-game losing streaks, it's been about the turnover-takeaway ratios. 6 turnovers, only 1 takeaway, and situational football will be a key. Converting 3rd downs, finishing drives with field goals, with touchdowns, not field goals. And the question I'm going to have today, will the Pittsburgh Steelers be patient enough, because you know New England, they're going to take away those 2 deep safeties and say, you know what, no James Conner, beat us running the ball. They have to be patient, and patience is not an attribute of Ben's, but patience in the running game and making sure they try to shorten this game because New England's offense is dynamic.
You know, he just answered his own question, didn't he? Like me
Who did
there.
he get that from?
Hey, well, I don't know where he got it from, but, you know, can they be patient enough? I don't know. They got one of the best offensive lines in football, and they haven't run the football for 4 weeks, so why start today? But when you look at the New England Patriots, they have been running the football great. Power running football, 2 running backs back there, and they've been getting it done. But that will be hard to do today. Why? Because Pittsburgh's defensive front, their 3 defensive linemen, 3 of the best in the league, run and pass. And if you want to run it against this defensive front, you spread them out, take one of those big guys out, get them smaller, then you run the football.
Okay, you asked yourself 3 questions. Let me do my best Phil Simpson question. Will this come down to the running game? No, it won't. It's going to come down to the passing game. There's guys you will have your eyes on, guys you should keep your eyes on. How about Gronk? Of course, Julian Edelman and Josh Gordon averaging 18 yards a catch. But the guy you keep your eye on, James White, such a good pass catcher. And then for the Steelers, Juju Smith-Schuster, leading receiver in both categories. But then you have Antonio Brown, of course. Keep your eye on Vance McDonald, though, the tight end, who's a big-time playmaker, 3rd leading receiver on that team.
How many questions did Phil ask himself?
I think it was 3 in that segment.
Okay, well,
did I answer them right? That's all that matters.
That,
3
you know
for
what?
3.
That's exactly right. Hey, the NFC playoff picture shows the Saints and the Rams are the top 2 seeds and battling for home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Chicago and Dallas in control of their respective divisions, while the Seahawks and the Vikings hold the wild cards. And speaking of the Vikes, they'll face the Dolphins at 1 Eastern right here on CBS as we go out now live to Minneapolis and welcome in our Hall of Famer, Dan Fouts. He'll be calling the game. A busy week in Minnesota where the Vikings made some changes on the offensive side of the coaching staff, Dan.
Yeah, JB, head coach Mike Zimmer fired offensive coordinator John DeFilippo after that disastrous showing in Seattle on Monday night. New man in charge is quarterback coach Kevin Stefanski, who reportedly has an excellent working relationship with quarterback Kirk Cousins. With Stefanski calling the plays, the Vikings are hoping to find more balance in their offense. The plan is to simplify things by cutting down on the shifts and motions prior to the snap. We'll see less drop-back passing on early downs, more play-action passing, bootlegs, and rollouts, things that Cousins like best. Wide receiver Adam Thielen said the changes hopefully will allow Cousins to play fast and free. For the Dolphins, quarterback Ryan Tannehill suffered this ankle injury last week against the Patriots when his right tackle, Jawan James, stepped on him in the pocket. We met with Tannehill yesterday. He said he's fine, but don't look for him to run very often today. And you won't see Dolphin cornerback Xavier Howard at all today. He and his 7 interceptions will be out because of a sore knee. He'll be replaced by a committee led by rookie Minkah Fitzpatrick and second-year man Torrey McTyer, and that should benefit quarterback Kirk Cousins. JB, but the Dolphins have got to find a way to win on the road. In the last 11 games under head coach Adam Gase, their record, 1 win, 10 losses.
Wow. Hey, Dan, thanks for setting the stage for us. And we look forward to your call of the game. All right, folks, and for more news on the coaching moves in Minnesota, we welcome in our NFL Today insider, Jason La Canfora.
Well, JB, new Vikings coordinator Kevin Stefanski makes his play-calling debut today with a chance to raise his profile around the NFL. Sources said multiple teams were already eyeing the 36-year-old for potential head coaching interviews even before his sudden promotion last week. The Vikings have blocked him from leaving for other jobs in the past. If he gets Kirk Cousins going, they may lose him anyway. The Raiders are concluding their lost 2018 season with no idea where they'll play in 2019. Owner Mark Davis declared he won't return to Oakland, with the city now suing the team. But I'm told a reunion is not out of the question, and the league office prefers they play somewhere in the Bay Area. Sources said John Gruden could add both Cardinals GM Steve Keim and Tampa GM Jason Light to his revamped front office if they're let go. Arizona and Tampa, they're mulling sweeping changes. And as coach mentioned, James Conner is out today, but I'm told the Steelers feel very good about him for next week. Conner may still work out before the game, just in case. Look for rookie Jalen Samuels to carry the load at running back ahead of veteran Stephen Ridley. And JB, some good news out of D.C. Alex Smith is out of the hospital, as you can see here. Long recovery ahead for him from the fractured leg and complications from it, but obviously some good news there, JB.
It was a challenging post-op, and Jason, yes, we're praying for him as well. All right, folks, on a sad note, 4-time Pro Bowler Bill Fralick passed away this week at the tender age of 56 after a battle with cancer. Following a legendary career at Pitt, Fralick was drafted with the 2nd overall pick by the Atlanta Falcons back in '85. And we here at the NFL Today send our thoughts and prayers to Bill's family and loved ones.
Today on CBS Sports is powered by Ram Trucks.
These are the Miracle Men. The Dolphins' Kenyon Drake scored in the Miami Miracle last week, and the Vikings' Stephon Diggs, he did the trick against the Saints in last season's NFC divisional playoff, and that was dubbed the Minneapolis Miracle. And folks, it is now time to go inside the pregame HQ delivered by Domino's. Both players, Drake and Diggs, will be looking to create some more magic for their teams when the Dolphins and the Vikings face off today, Boom.
You know, JB, I said it in week 1, and I'm going to say it in week 15. This guy, Kirk Cousins, and Kevin Stefanski are going to be under a lot of pressure. Why? 3 years, $84 million contract. That means you can't score 17 points combined in the last 2 games, and you can't go under less than 300 yards 4 out of the last 5 games. So that's why they fired their offensive coordinator, to get the most out of Kirk Cousins, and hopefully today he'll show up against the Miami Dolphins.
You got mad when you start saying,
yeah,
I'll tell you, Ryan Tannehill, how about this guy, Ryan Tannehill?
Yes.
These last 3 games, 8 touchdowns, 1 interception. They're in the playoff hunt because you know why? They're throwing the ball only 23 times a day and running the football. The ageless Frank Gore, 35 years old, and that man right there, Kenyon Drake, 9 touchdowns on the year, and obviously the big one last week in the Miami Miracle. Another AFC team visiting an NFC team, and in the playoff hunt, that's Tennessee visiting New York. You got that, Phil?
I got it, Bill. Don't worry, I can catch it. You know, what do we got today when we look at this game? Saquon Barkley for the New York Giants. He is must-watch TV. He has over 1,100 yards rushing, 78 receptions. Get him the football. And then Marcus Mariota, the quarterback for the Tennessee Titans, he's been hurt, showing toughness, courage, and there's no doubt he is the leader of this football team. And they catch the football.
How about that? You see how I did that with one hand?
Yeah.
How about this game right here? We got the Redskins and the Jags, and there's Josh Johnson on his 12th team.
What?
Came in for Mark Sanchez, had 195 and 1 TD. He's going to have to lean on that running game up against Jacksonville, whose defense has been up and down this season. But there's Cody Kessler right there. Just 1-9 as a starter. That offense has struggled, though. Just 15 points over the last couple weeks. The running back game, Adrian Peterson versus Leonard Fournette. That's going to be the matchup to watch. There you go.
Oh.
Still ahead on the NFL Today.
Touchdown! Miraculous in Miami!
If you thought last week's miracle in Miami shocked the Patriots, wait until you see it through the eyes of a Dolphins superfan.
Hey, NFL Today. I didn't know what you wanted me to wear, so I brought a few things.
Speaking of comebacks, the Chargers electrified Thursday Night Football with a come-from-behind win over the Chiefs.
Wide open! The Chargers are celebrating!
Do the guys think Phillip Rivers and company have what it takes to get to Atlanta? Bill Belichick has already solidified his place among NFL coaching greats, but today he'll try to add to his legacy when the Pats take on their rivals from Pittsburgh. All that and more when the NFL Today continues on CBS, home of Super Bowl 53.
I said, give me the ball. I'm ready to go.
And to Riggins, he's gone! He's gone!
I'm very appreciative of it and thankful that I was named MVP, but I wasn't the best on the field that day. That was a team that won that game.
And from one all-time Washington great to another ageless Washington running back, that would be AP, Adrian Peterson, who continues to get her done. Last month, he moved past Riggins into 6th place on the all-time rushing touchdowns list.
8 seconds to play, 1st and goal at the 1. Phillip Rivers, a strike, touchdown, Los Angeles. And Los Angeles is going for 2. They're going for the win. Rivers looks, he floats it, end zone, wide open. Mike Williams has got it. The Chargers are celebrating 29-28.
And that stunning come-from-behind finish by the Chargers on Thursday night will have a major impact on the AFC playoff picture.
Yeah, you know, JB, I think it really will. You know, when you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, all the pressure is on their offense. So what happened to them the other night? Here they are up 28-21. They're trying to run the clock out, and they're a passing football team. So they couldn't run it to eat the time up, to get a first down. They couldn't have time to throw it down the field because they're getting dominated physically up front because they're always passing, and they've lost that aggressiveness. So I look at it and go, can Kansas City win their next 2 games? I have questions about that.
You know, the LA Charger offense, you think about it, they were down by 7 points with 2:41 to go, 60 yards to go, without Keenan Allen. Watch his pass right here at Travis Benjamin. Here's a 4th and 8 right here. This was an amazing pass and catch. And then all of a sudden, this sets up Mike Williams for the touchdown and a chance to tie up and go overtime. Nope. You know what happens? Let's go for 2 and win this thing right now, as Philip Rivers says. And they do it right there. You can see with that 2-point play. And so you think about what they did without Melvin Gordon, without Keenan Allen. This LA Charger offense is dynamic. Philip Rivers has to be at least mentioned when you talk about league MVP.
And we see the record for both of these teams. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. Let's take a look at the schedule for these guys. The last couple weeks, it's going to be a doozy for both teams. When you look at KC, they got Seattle right there, and then Oakland. Of course, that could be a game that they can win. But when you look at the Chargers, that Baltimore game, it's going to be a tough one, that #1 defense. And then Denver, as we saw last night with not Johnny Manziel, Baker Mayfield. Even though he got the win, it's a tough place to play when they go to Denver.
Did you guys tell each other what you were wearing today? I mean, I feel like I'm working with the men from Uncle. But, you know, here, only you guys really truly understand that. But here's the thing about San Diego, and I love what Philip Rivers said after the game. LA, what he said after the game, and that was the fact that, hey, talk to me about Mike Williams now, you know, because there was a lot of like scrutiny and criticism coming Mike Williams' way, and all he did was basically flourish him with all this great stuff after the game and the conviction that Anthony Lynn had to go for 2. Love what's going on out there in LA.
Hey, sure. We're all human. We all make mistakes and choose back there. Johnny Manziel, San Diego, what's going on out there?
My bad, Baker. Uncle, you got to be old to know that show.
My bad, meanwhile, a pair of games last night also went down to the wire, beginning with the Texans, where multimedia Nate was calling the game.
And Nate, you did a great job last night. I got to tell you, you did a really good job. And how about DeAndre Hopkins? Oh, you know from your days as a wide receiver, this guy is the best wide receiver in football. I don't care what anybody says. He may be the angriest man in football too, by the way. But he goes up and he snatches the ball like nobody in this league. And you know, and that's what the Jets were missing, because I got to tell you, Sam Darnold on the other side was awesome. 21 out of 31, 192 yards and 2 touchdowns from the pocket. And what did J.J. Watt say to Sam Darnold after the game was over last night?
Oh, he said that he's one of the best young quarterbacks, and he has a good future ahead of him.
You're going to be a great pro.
And that's praise from a guy like J.J. Watt who was chasing him down all game long. But back to DeAndre Hopkins, it's an equal point where you can go up and get that ball. We call it the 50-50 ball. But with DeAndre Hopkins, those size hands and as aggressive as he is, that's 80-20, man. He's one of the best in the business at high-pointing that rock.
You're talking about a hot team. How about the Cleveland Browns? They went into Denver. You're talking about Baker Mayfield, what he's done under Freddie Kitchens. He didn't have his best game last night, but boy, how about this thing he threw to Bashard Perriman? They just picked him up from the Baltimore Ravens, and then 2 rookies. Watch this, Antonio Callaway on this touchdown, and then Nick Chubb in the running game giving them big plays.
The Brownies.
Baker Mayfield, 13 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions under Freddie Kitchens since he's taken over. And you're talking about with Greg Williams. I'll tell you, Greg Williams is going to be mentioned to be head coach of this team.
You know, you talk about 80-20. That's where you talk and I get the 20. Here we go. But Baker Mayfield, his strength is his accuracy. It was not there last night. He could overthrow the Empire State Building, but he got it together in the second half. His tenacity, his personality, it really carries and is part of the Cleveland Browns.
Nate, I think we tee you up now.
Oh, you're right about that. And there's the miracle man, Kenyon Drake. 9 touchdowns on the season. None more memorable than the Miami Miracle. We'll have more on that when we come back.
Time now for Brilliance on the Field, presented by Kay Jewelers. And throughout this season, the Pro Football Hall of Fame presented the Ring of Excellence to its newest members of the class of 2018. Among them, former Ravens linebacker Ray Lewis, 2-time Super Bowl champ, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. He got his there. And, of course, legendary general manager Bobby Beathard, who built 2 Super Bowl winning teams in Washington. Now, each ring was produced exclusively by Kay Jewelers with 14-karat gold that houses a 65-point diamond and is customized to reflect each inductee's unique career.
Tannehill will throw it, and this will end it after the shovel, or will it? Miami running around, circling. Oh, look out! Gronkowski didn't have the angle. Touchdown! Oh, Kenyon Drake! A miracle!
Like my man Phil Simms, I'm all up on social media. So after that Miami Miracle, I wanted to go out and find the best fan reactions to that play that shocked the football world.
Touchdown! Oh, Kenyon Drake! Miraculous in Miami.
The reactions to the Miami Miracle were priceless. Sure, the Dolphins themselves had a ball, but this was all about the fans.
You will not believe what just happened!
And no reaction caught my eye in my ear more than this one. Wow, the NFL Today just had to find out who this guy was. So we headed south, nope, not there, south to Dallas, Texas, where we met up with Miami superfan Tony Dow, a.k.a. TD.
Was my reaction over the top? Absolutely not. Did I wake up neighbors? Yeah, I woke them up. They shouldn't be sleeping in the middle of the day anyway. Take that, you Patriots fans. Take that.
Okay, tell them how you really feel. I guess it's a little sweeter when you beat the Pats.
Look at Gronkowski stumble. He was the safety.
Gronk, from all the Miami Dolphin fans, we truly want to say thank you.
I did sucky.
Poor Gronk.
All right, let's put TD to the test and see how he reacts to these classic Miami moments.
The Dolphins select Dan Marino of Pittsburgh.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about, baby.
The Miami Dolphins select Ted Ginn.
What? Marino who fires, touchdown! Oh my gosh! Take that, Jets fans!
I'm not going to be the Alabama coach.
Come on, y'all. We all know that was a lie.
Ronnie Brown looking to throw it. Brown, touchdown!
He threw it out of the Wildcat. And that was also against the Patriots.
That was fun and all, but time to get real. Where do the Dolphins go from here?
From the miracle in Miami all the way to the Super Bowl. Fins up, baby.
How about that, Boom? Got a little energy.
You brought up that Spike game, man. I'm so sick of that Spike game, I can't even tell you. But, you know, that's exactly the way fans should act, though, right?
You're right about that. You got to show a little love, get some excitement in there.
And big congrats to Dan Ennis, the producer, who was creative on that piece, to say the least. All right, so, hey, folks, we will keep the conversation going right here. But with kickoff just about a half hour away, time now to set the scene at your game as we take you out first on the field with the latest news and updates on your matchup. All right, to our resident quarterbacks later, it's Roethlisberger against Brady. That's our featured matchup. TB12 leading the Pats into Pittsburgh to take on Big Ben and the Steelers in an AFC showdown with huge implications. That comes your way at 4:25 p.m. Eastern right here on CBS. And two Super Bowl winning coaches, Bill Belichick and Mike Tomlin, will go head-to-head in that one. Several other head coaches around the league are standing out in the conversation for best coaching job of the season.
You know, guys, I would have to say number one in the clubhouse right now has got to be Anthony Lynn. 11-3 Chargers, what he did on Thursday night, how they're right now in the mix, possibly for the number one seed in the AFC. And then on the other side of the ledger, I would say maybe Pete Carroll in Seattle, because not only does he have a young team, he helped rebuild this young team.
Yeah, I have to agree with Anthony Lynn. It seemed like things that would happen years before would really fracture this team, but they have a different type of resilience. They always say broken bones heal stronger, and this team is stronger, even though they have injuries and even some of those close games they lost.
And I have no question in my mind of the AFC, but the NFC, you got to talk about Matt Nagy. You're talking about going from worst to first with the Chicago Bears and what he's done with Mitchell Trubisky up there and that offense. And again, they're now looking to clinch this division. And so, to me, Matt Nagy's got to be talked about as well in terms of coach of the year.
You know, when a team is expected to do well, I can't pick that coach. I'm just going to take Frank Reich because, you know, Andrew Luck coming off an injury, I don't think any of us thought he would be back to what he is. But what the offense is doing, how they're making it work, the defense is playing better. I think they have a chance to run it down and go 10-6.
I put an asterisk by the name of Greg Williams because he took over the team beyond the midpoint of the season. But what he's done with the same squad and winning, that's impressive to me. You talked about that.
No question about it.
All right.
That's right, and they're playing for that man, too. And there's Kenny Stills right there, the Miami Dolphins leading receiver in touchdowns. He's scoring on and off the field. He's the Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee.
The NFL Today is sponsored by Walmart. Light up Christmas at Walmart. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by the Ram 1500, Motor Trend's 2019 Truck of the Year.
The Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award, considered the league's most prestigious honor, recognizes NFL players whose passion to impact lives extends beyond the game and has led them to leave a positive legacy in their communities. This year's winner will be announced at the NFL Honors the night before Super Bowl 53 right here on CBS. And to learn about all of this year's nominees, visit NFL.com/Man of the Year.
Well, the Redskins nominee is Vernon Davis. This year became a panelist and mentor at the Redskins' Fourth in Life High School Football Forum, an annual event that prepares high school football players for life after the game.
Representing the Titans is Jarrell Casey. The Casey Foundation is partnering with Starlight Foundation, a nonprofit dedicated to bringing joy and comfort to hospitalized children and their families by designing custom hospital gowns.
Kyle Rudolph is the Vikings nominee. Kyle Rudolph End Zone at the University of Minnesota Masonic Children's Hospital officially opened this year and provides opportunities for patients and families to take their minds off treatments.
And representing the Cincinnati Bengals is Carlos Dunlap. As bullying continues to make national headlines, Carlos is doing his part to encourage kids to choose kindness, not bullying, through his anti-bullying literacy tour.
Hey, our guy Boomer was a proud recipient of this prestigious award. That was back in 1995. And folks, we have an NFL Walter Payton Man of the Year pin for Boomer to wear today. And he knows how special or particular this award is.
Certainly, JB, very proud of that. But really, the NFL gave me a platform. Back in 1993, my son Gunnar was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis. And since that time, we've raised over $200 million. And it was a quarterback's crusade. As 2-year-old Gunnar was on my shoulders, he is now 27. It's been an amazing, amazing story. But unfortunately, this past week, we were hit with the reality that his friend Leah passed away from complications waiting for lungs. So we're still in this fight, and the NFL and CBS has given me the platform to make a difference.
Hey, Boom, big props on what you continue to do. Outstanding. Hey, folks, and a reminder, later in our featured matchup, Brady, Gronk, and the Pats march into Pittsburgh to take on Big Ben, AB, and the Steelers. And, of course, the Terrible Towels will be flying high for this huge AFC showdown, Patriots, Steelers. 4:25 Eastern right here on CBS. And with a win this afternoon, Patriots head coach Bill Belichick will continue to rewrite the record book with 16 straight 10-win seasons. Now, this graphic isn't big enough to list all of his impressive accomplishments because, folks, he's just about done it all.
Now, you ain't gotta love Coach Belichick, but you gotta respect him. And we about to throw down 60 seconds of R-E-S-P-E-C-T to the greatness of Billy B. Born in Nashville, Tennessee on April 16, 1952, he shares a birthday with Charlie Chaplin, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Chance the Rapper. And he just might need security, because no head coach in NFL history has ever brought on 5 Super Bowl championships. Plus, he's been the head coach in more playoff games than Tom Landry and Don Shula. And he's a playoff winner. That's right, no coach has won more playoff games than the Hoodie. And somebody give me a crown, because this man is also the division king. He's on his way to his 10th straight title, extending his own record. And overall, he has 11 Super Bowl appearances, 8 as a head coach. That's right, there's been 52 Super Bowls, and he's coaching over 21% of them. But wait, there's more good from the Hood. He even got 11 wins out of Matt Castle, and he's also got 11 wins out of the Cleveland Browns. Rock and roll! But now, get your hankies ready, cuz we're on to Pittsburgh. We're on to Pittsburgh. We're on to Pittsburgh. And if you think the NFL's longest tenured active head coach is falling for another hook and ladder, you better check yourself before you better check yourself.
I like JB. You see JB there again?
I see. You can move like that a little
back
bit.
in the day, anyway, it was all good.
Well, listen, you could hate on Bill, but if you're doing that, you're just hating on the brilliance, because I know we're using animation, a little bit of comedy, but there's nothing funny about the run that he's been on.
I know I had a winning record against him, but I have to tell you, not just his head coaching record, as a defensive coordinator with the New York Giants and the New York Jets, I mean, he is just basically second to none. The one thing I will say about him, he's kept it simple. Do your job, right? No days off.
Right.
And he is committed to the Patriots and the game of football.
And look at our guy, Bill Cowher, and his winning record against him. Wow, I love that. Hey, and for a more in-depth look at the Patriots-Steelers matchup, 8 wins, Coach. Pretty impressive.
Okay,
there,
Bill.
buddy.
Yeah, thank you, JB. Not to mention, a lot of those were when he was in Cleveland, and he had this guy named Testaverde. He went to New England, got this guy named Brady, and that kind of evened things out a little bit. So, but I want to say this. When you talk about the New England Patriots, you talk about their offense, Phil, they're healthy. They've got everybody, all the weapons. What makes this offense click?
Well, the number one thing is deception. They have power, and the biggest thing of all, it's about to go Tom Brady, protect him at all costs. Here we got a pass going down the field, extra protection by the tight end and the fullback. Julian Edelman in the slot. We'll see this today. Could be against Mike Hilton of the Pittsburgh Steelers, but he gets a double move. But look at the extra time that Tom Brady has, and it makes it an easy throw down the field for a big completion. Now, they run the football very well, New England does. Here comes the fakes. Watch the linebackers. They take the cheese. They bite up, chase the cars, and who comes behind them? Rob Gronkowski, perfect throw, easy completion. When they want to go deep down the field, deception again. Pull the guard, Cordero Patterson, outside, little double move, extra Tom Brady, nobody around him, and then watch maybe the best throw of the year, I think, by Tom Brady on a line, 40 yards to Cordero Patterson for a touchdown. And, you know, as you look at this offense, Pittsburgh's defense is struggling. You tell me how they're going to stop this.
Well, if they don't change anything, they're going to struggle again, because you saw a lot of those throws were inside the numbers. And you look at the breakdowns for the Pittsburgh Steelers, they have happened inside the numbers. Why? Because they're asking the linebackers to do too much. There's too much one-on-one. This is a big third down against the LA Chargers in the fourth quarter. You can't ask a linebacker to cover Keenan Allen in the middle of the field with no help. You need to bring some safety help down into the box in between those numbers, because, again, for Tom Brady, if you don't disrupt the spot he steps up to, if you don't disrupt something in the middle of the field, bring safeties in there. Again, the communication, matchups. You can't put linebackers on Gronkowski. You can't put linebackers on receivers. And if you do, you can't have a breakdown in communication. Last week, Jared Cook, another big day against the Steelers. And go back to last year. This was Amendola. They'll have Edelman this week. Again, you can see the linebacker on the inside of the field. Two deep safeties. Don't worry about two deep safeties. Bring the safety inside the numbers, because that's where they're going to beat you. Sean Davis was matched up 1-on-1 against Gronkowski a year ago. But if you don't give him help, it's not going to work. He can't step up into the spot. No safety in the middle of the field. If they don't change what they've done and learn from the past, nothing's going to change, Phil. So I think they're going to look at those, and they should make some serious adjustments. More zone and bringing people inside the numbers.
Interesting to see. Can't wait.
And there are a bunch of teams at 7-6 in the wide open AFC playoff race. And with 3 games left, they're all still feeling alive.
Don't be denied today. It's yours. You were brought here for this.
Lamar Jackson throws to the end zone. Touchdown!
Luck throws end zone, looking for a man. He's got it. Touchdown!
And let's show him who the real top dog is in this AFC. You heard me?
Okay, we got to grind this thing out, guys. It ain't going to be pretty.
Henry bounces it outside. The longest run in franchise history. 99 yards!
What a performance!
Miami running around, circling. Oh, look out! Touchdown! A miracle! The Dolphins improved to 7-6. They remain very much in the hunt.
So Miami, Indy, and Tennessee all chasing Baltimore for the final wild card. And folks, a lot can change today based on the outcomes of the Ravens and Steelers games, potentially moving one of those teams in the hunt into the 6th seed.
I think of the 6th seed. I know Baltimore is there right now, but I feel like they're one-dimensional on offense. When I look at the best team balance-wise, to me, it's the Indianapolis Colts. They play good defense. They can run and throw the ball on offense. And look at that Week 17 game that they're going to have against the Tennessee Titans. That could determine the 6th spot.
Yeah, I'm looking at Baltimore. They might be one-dimensional, but they also have the #1 defense. And you look at their record, Tampa Bay, they go to L.A. to face the Chargers and then the Cleveland Browns. So their record is good for them at the end of the season.
You know, Coach, your bias is so obvious. Because, you know, when I watch a Baltimore game with you, you got a big smile on your face.
I do like that.
They run the ball. They play defense. They're great on special teams. They got this and that and the other thing.
What else you need?
That's what I keep saying. But you're saying they're one-dimensional. Yeah, they're one-dimensional.
Pick somebody.
Win that division. I'm taking Baltimore and Indianapolis.
All right, finally, he got over here to me. I like the Indianapolis Colts. Listen, they're playing well in offense, but it's the defense, the speed, and I think they run the football well enough. Hard to stop. I think they run the table and finish up 10-6.
So you don't like that 80-20 equation, right?
Oh, it's definitely holding true. Yeah.
I hear you. Hey, folks, that brings us to another round of Believe or Make Believe, and I have a few statements for the guys to react to. Guess who's up first?
Okay.
It is going to be Phil.
Phil, so
okay,
Phil,
how's it work,
Believe
Bill?
or make believe? Is it a true statement or is it a false statement?
That being the case, Eli Manning will be the Giants' starting quarterback next season. Believe or make believe?
I believe. I think it's an absolute guarantee that Eli Manning will be the starter for the Giants next year. The free agent market is weak. The draft, they're not going to get anybody. And I think he will be there not only next year, I think he has a chance of starting 2020.
You believe that he's going to be the guy with the amount of money they paying him and the talent level that he has, the drop-off of that arm. You don't think they'll build around that young running back that they have right now?
They might build around him, but Eli is going to be the guy handing the football to him.
Do you think he should be the quarterback in
I
the
do.
2 years?
I do, just because of what's out there in the draft and what free agents are out there. I like Eli. Listen, he's going to be the quarterback, so let's get over it.
Yeah, I don't think we have any say in this thing, but I would not. I would.
What would you do though?
I would move on. I would try to draft one of these young quarterbacks and sign a mid-level free agent just to be the stopgap, because you can't pay a guy $22 million a year.
Well, they can
get the performance that they've been getting.
You know, they can restructure the contract and pay him less.
Oh,
But he's got his best career completion percentage, best yards per attempt, his best QBR. He's really tearing it up. So there you go, Boomer.
They played against. It also has lead the league in turnovers the last 3 years.
There's some individuals sitting on benches. Teddy Bridgewater is a guy I would say try to
New
make
Orleans
a play
is not
for.
going to let him go.
They got Taysom Hill, though. That could be their backup.
Coach will start this one. Final question. The Seahawks are currently the 5th seed in the NFC playoff picture with an 8-5 record. This has been the best coaching job by Pete Carroll during his time in Seattle. Believe or make believe?
I don't think there's any question about it. You talk about what he did. They start off 0-2. Russell Wilson is getting hit. He turned around a philosophy of running the football and playing defense. They're 8-5 on the verge of making the playoffs. And I think the moves that Pete Carroll made speak volumes about the job he's done. And I think it's the best job he's done since he's been in Seattle.
I love what he's doing this year, but they're back-to-back Super Bowl runs. Boom, come on now.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, some of the best, but you know what? He had good teams too. But he changed this team.
Why are you yelling at me, Coach?
He's been around Phil too long.
He also changed those teams as well into Super Bowl teams.
He motivated them.
And he also took flyers on guys like Richard Sherman, who turned out to be great players for him.
Yeah.
Phil has had a palpable impact on this group up here. All right, folks, time now for the NFL Today picks presented by FedEx. Patriots and Steelers, the quiet one, Phil.
Well, yes, as you know, I didn't get the comment in the last segment either, so I'll just say this. I like the Pats today for a lot of reasons, mainly because their offense, and they got a lot of DBs that can cover man-to-man.
Life cycles this week. Kansas City 9 straight over the Chargers. They lost. Denver 11 straight over the Chiefs, or over the Browns. They lost. Patriots have won 5 straight. You know where I'm going. One side gets comfortable. Another side takes it personal. They take it personal today and get the win.
All right, I'm going with the Patriots. All that doesn't matter, man. Patriots own the Steelers.
I take the Patriots as well. Why? Because Bill Belichick said none of that has anything to do with today. And by the way, Edelman and Gronk, the last 3 games, 47 reception, 32 first down.
And a reminder, go to NFL.com/FedEx and cast your vote for the FedEx Airing Ground NFL Players of the Week. And don't forget to follow along and see all of our weekly picks at FedEx. Kickoff just a few minutes away. We'll get you out to your game coming up next.
The NFL Today on CBS Sports is powered by Ram Trucks.
And a reminder later, it's Roethlisberger versus Brady. TB12 leads the Patriots into Pittsburgh to take on Big Ben and the Steelers. That is an AFC showdown with huge playoff implications. And it comes your way at 4:25 Eastern right here on CBS. And with our big game in mind, we decided to dig a little deeper into this rivalry and test our experts' knowledge with a little Patriots-Steelers trivia. The first question goes to Phil. But first of all, something's bugging you right now.
Just real quick, just to let everybody out there know what we deal with every single week. Boomer Esiason comes in today and says, I look so good, it's ridiculous. I look so good, I couldn't stop looking in the mirror. We have to hear this every week.
And the point is, it's real. This is not fake, right?
Yeah, he's the handsomest man on earth. Let's go. Let me hear some trivia.
He didn't even argue it.
Of course not.
What is there to argue?
You called the last postseason matchup between these teams in a 2016 AFC Championship game. Tom Brady threw for 384 yards in that game, 180 of which was to one receiver. Who was that receiver?
I'm going to guess Julian Edelman.
Close, but not
Chris
quite.
Hogan.
Chris Hogan, it was indeed.
Oh,
All right.
Chris Hogan, geez.
Say that again, Drew.
He only lives like 100 yards from me, and I missed it.
Good job, Coach.
Well, talk about Chris Hogan. Give him a little plug.
Well, listen, his nickname was always open. Anytime you get a nickname like that,
7-Eleven.
Go off. 7-Eleven. That's what it is.
Yeah. I've seen him work out 100 times. About 50 feet from my house, no exaggeration, when he wasn't even in the league. Hard worker, and he's really proved out and fits the Patriots perfectly.
50 feet from your house?
He was in the backyard doing some work.
When you cross my fence,
yes,
it's football field, it's there, and that's...
You live on a compound.
Yes, I do.
He's got a...
That he does.
Can't hide money.
Yeah. Boy.
Yes, I do.
Let's go to Coach now. Coach, one of your players once had 3 sacks in a game against the Patriots. Who was it? One of your players.
Joey Porter?
Coach is all over it.
Okay,
all over it. Joey Porter, take a look at it.
He's coaching the team. He better know.
Listen, that was...
Joey Porter had a nickname, too.
I think that's the only time we beat him, because I was actually in Pittsburgh, I think, week 10 or 11, and they came in undefeated, and we took them down. We actually beat the Eagles the next week, too.
The question I have for you, Coach, is did he get into a fight at any point in time during the game?
No, Joey Porter was an emotional leader for us. He got these guys going. He was, he said things at times that got...
Coach, you were an emotional leader for them.
Yeah.
The whole team.
I was a calming force for us at times as well.
You know, Coach, the whole team is emotional.
Was that
they clean some things up a little bit.
Was that a nice, classy way of characterizing Mr. Joey Porter?
Yes.
All right. Yes. Nate, multimedia Nate. Nate tried to work in the 9th job this weekend, by the way. Who is the only Steelers running back with multiple 100-yard rushing games against the Patriots?
Oh.
The only Steelers running back. They got a great...
Jerome Bettis?
No, I got to go back further than that.
Franco Harris?
There you go. There we go.
That's what we're talking about.
Talk about Franco.
The pulling guard.
I mean, look at Franco. This is the old days right here. Rocky Bleier was leading for him. Franco, you can tell him, look at this guy, the size, the agility, the vision. He had great balance. And you know what? He could catch the ball very well. Never let a ball hit the ground. Listen to that, Oakland Raiders.
All right.
Pretty good.
Hey, and before we read Boomer the question, what does Boomer do when he comes into the studio?
Daddy looks good.
And he circles the face. Hey, Boom!
Okay.
Both the Patriots and Steelers are coming off a loss. Who were the coaches for New England and Pittsburgh the last time these two teams faced off when each was coming off of a loss?
I would say Parcells and our very own Bill Cowher.
Ooh, boom, 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 boom. Absolutely correct.
Yes.
Boom, narrate over these two guys.
Well, I tell you, take a look at these guys, two of the great coaches.
Yeah.
Here's our coach with the hair and mustache.
That was
Tom Selleck mustache?
Yes.
Bill Cowher, go ahead. Yeah,
that was in the playoffs, I think it was. It was like a 6-0. Mike Vrabel actually played for us in that game.
Really?
We had just drafted him. He was a defensive lineman. So
I feel like y'all cheated. I think they gave him the answers.
Really gave them the answers?
I usually this was curious, but I actually got every one of those ones right.
Did you really?
I did. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? In the final 30 seconds of the show, they did the 80, you did the 20. Why don't you what are your closing thoughts about that?
What do you got to say? You won all the time.
Ask yourself a question. Don't ask yourself a question.
But honestly, what could you say right now that you'd feel so much better having said it now, wishing you could say
Well, see, this is typical. Just if you ask me a damn question, you took all the time. So I got to put up with y'all every week. And as I'm talking, doing the show, they're all over there making faces and making fun of me.
Hey, man, I love you too, man.
We'll see you back here 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific, right here on CBS.